Good day, folk. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Trevor and I am your one-armed bandit in the bush. Today we are going to continue on our feedback of, as I said in the previous video, we were stuck without any power supply in the back of the vehicle. So no way of charging the battery in the back, no way of running the refrigerator in the back of the vehicle either without some kind of battery backup. So today we're going to talk about the Energizer PowerSource Pro. This is rated at 1200 watts. It effectively delivers about nearly 1000 watt hours of power, and it is a lithium ion battery, not phosphate. So this is a little bit heavier, weighs in at 23 pounds. So not exactly a lightweight. I like the construction of it. The rectangular shape makes it really easy to fit into corners. Unfortunately, this handle on the top limits any ability to pack on top. So it's going to be soft item first, and then potentially harder items, but you're going to be limited in terms of what gets packed on this thing. So just keep that in mind. What do we come with by way of charging? This ships in a bundle with a 200 watt solar blanket, and that uses monocrystalline cells versus the HyperBoost MPPT cells that you would find on the 120 solar panel that ships with the Arc 5. So a difference in those solar panels, and I'll touch on them in a moment in terms of effective charge rate. But back to what we get in terms of supplied power under USB. There are two USB-C ports. These both have a charge rate of up to 12 watts. And it is an intelligent built-in system in that it'll adjust the amperage output based on the wattage requirement of the device. And then what I really do like in terms of at least charging my MacBook, and in terms of charging the iPad, is that we're getting 100 watts on the USB-C side. 3 AC outlets, 110 at 1200 watt pure sinusoidal, consistent, and has USB backup capability that I believe is either less than 10 or 20 milliseconds. So effectively you can utilize this as a USB backup, and then of course the standard conventional 12 volt cigarette plug, which in this particular case took the full load, because this thing had to run that refrigerator, which is a rather large fella. I think we're talking about 56 quarts is the capacity of the fridge, and it has refrigeration and freezer on it. So those capabilities mean you're dropping rather low. And as previously explained, I unfortunately didn't realize for at least the first week that I was running the compressor on its maximum mode, in other words, to generate maximum refrigeration, and I was not running it on its economy mode, whereby it would have reduced its power consumption quite considerably. In fact, the power consumption rate was around 86 watts at its peak, versus if set in economy mode, it would run at up to about 46 at its peak. So quite a significant difference when you're in a camp environment and you're doing this over multiple weeks. So let's plug her in and let's take a look at what happens. All right, so let's get this display up. So firstly, if I plug in, this thing has two charging capabilities. You're either going to charge directly with the 110 or the AC, or you have the opportunity to plug in the solar charging. So let's just take a look and see what's going on here. So first up, wow. All right, this is telling me that effectively coming in off AC, we are getting between 110 and about 140 watts. Now, that is truly very, very, very low, very, very poor. However, let's just take a look and see how this is connected. I have the AC, and this should be going directly into the 110. And when in fact I do it, I get somewhere in the region of 770 watts versus what we are now getting is 140. And as you can see, there's extension cords going all the way back up. So be mindful. You think you get 700 watts when you're on AC, but in reality, based on how you're actually connecting to the wall socket, you could lose a significant amount. And in this case, I'm losing almost 600 watts. That adds a significant time, right? So this is at 98%, so it's saying 11 minutes. So it's not really a true indication of how long it would take, but I can tell you that that's truly bad. So let's see, can you charge with both solar and with AC? So let's see what happens when I plug the solar in. So bear in mind that this thing is supposed to be a panel that is rated to 200. So let's watch where it goes to. You can see that it is indicating that we have both AC and solar, and combined, that is all they are delivering. So that performance is very weak. Now, that comes to the solar panels themselves. All right, if I disconnect the AC, all right, so I need to be cautious of what I'm saying here. This is not a true reflection, and I'll tell you why. The battery is already at 98%, and the batteries do have a smart or an intelligent management system built into them, that it does not require a full 700 watts when it gets to full capacity. So it will slow down the rate at which it can accept the charge, and therefore you might think that it's only pulling that. So, sorry, my error there, but in reality, that's what's happening here. It has nothing to do with all these extra cords and how much we're getting. It has everything to do with the fact that this battery is already almost fully charged, has limited time, so it don't need that amount of charge, slows it down, keeps it cool, so battery operates more efficiently at that level. So there I've got the AC disconnected, and currently it is only pulling off between 50 and 60 watts. And in fact, as the charge is going up, so the charge on the battery goes up, so the effective charge rate that it pulls off the solar panel goes down, so that it helps the battery cool down. It doesn't have to charge at that massive rate anymore. So that's the deal of what's going on there. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about price point. Let me come around this side of this unit and talk through it. So currently, this thing online, you will find it as a bundle at Costco, listed for $13.99. It carries currently a $400 promotional discount, which brings it in at square $1,000. On Amazon, exactly the same bundle is listed at $18.99, so $900 higher. Be mindful of where you buy it, because I can tell you that at $1,900, it's absolutely not a bar. And regardless of how well this fella performed on our trip overland, where we were running a refrigerator in the back of that capper, which is black, which is stainless steel, which has elevated ambient temperatures within it, that means to try keep the refrigerator as low as we had it, to try and keep the deep freeze as low as we had it, running all that time with the compressor set as high as it did. I was happy with my purchase. I have no qualms with the purchase. Would I purchase it again right now, I guess, is the key question. I think it's still a consideration that I would take into play, given the effectiveness of that bundle. I think that's a great price. Would I ever say to you that keep your eyes on what is becoming available, because we are continuously seeing the envelope move quite fast in the domain, or in the technology domain, of batteries. And those improvements are coming at lower cost, lower price points, lower weight, etc. So all of those things means that there are great buys, greater product coming to market. And if you don't mind taking a chance of being an early buyer, you're going to get it at great prices as they try to fight against the price barrier as an entry to market for them. So look for them, look carefully, look broadly, research well. Don't just think that there is always the cheapest deal online at a particular supplier or through a particular vendor. Look broadly. There are deals, but you can also get caught for a sucker if you don't research broadly enough. So thank you for joining me on my review of this Energizer Pro, and I look forward to the next session.